Hi everybody, this is Marco from Bimser International. In this video, you will see the benefits and features of our Enterprise Asset Maintenance Facility and Energy Management System, BEAM. If you're in the mining industry, this will reduce maintenance costs and any unplanned breakdowns and downtimes. With the aid of BEAM, you can manage activities and maintenance to your assets like the duster, tires, dozers, and mining trucks, and your spare parts like different gears and whatnot. These are some of the operations that you can run within your mining company. The interactive dashboard allows you to view things such as your KPIs, different work orders, and the statistics of your assets. It's also completely configurable and adjustable, so you can see what you would want to see within your dashboard, as well as move things around and reorganize them to the most optimal functionality for you to use and view all your basic statistics within your asset and maintenance management within the BEAM software. As you can see, we also have different bar graphs and charts that you can access. Next, we will be going into the asset management module. Here, you have the ability to keep track of all your assets and perform different actions. So if we go into the map functionality, you have the ability to map your different locations and facilities, as well as the ability to zoom in and out. And if you have any GPS tracking, that could be integratable within the map functionality, which shows a real-time Google Maps map to keep track of any moving assets from different facilities. Next, if you click on the graphical asset tree, here you can see a blueprint of your facility and all your assets, green indicating that they're undergoing good status and red indicating that there's an issue. And as I just showed, if you click on them, you're able to quickly perform a work order, as well as see any quick updates that you may want to see just by hovering over the asset individually. So you have the ability to quickly have a quick view of all your assets in a very simple manner in one screen. Next, we'll be going into the asset tree, where you can see the structure of your company in a hierarchy form. You have the ability to see how the asset is arranged in different locations, and unlike many other competitors, we have the ability to add as many asset definitions and links as you may need, so you can define them from facility to locations to linking assets that go together, such as mining equipment and drills under one link. Now we'll be going into the asset list. In this list, you have the ability to view all your assets in a very neat and organized table, and you can search them up by asset definitions, codes, and an assortment of filters. So I'll be looking into trucks. So if I type in truck at the top, all our trucks will appear. And if we just double click, we have the ability to open one of our assets. And at the top left, as you can see, you do have the add button. So you have the ability to add any of your mining assets that you may need. So now we'll be opening up a truck, and here you can access any general information such as asset codes, definitions, types, and you can define your asset in that manner. You also have the ability to add any costs, maintenance costs, downtime costs, as well as brand models, and really go in depth with your assets. Next, we'll be looking at the material of assets. So you have the ability to view any materials your asset use and store them within this table. You also have your maintenance team, so you could upload the responsible maintenance team for that asset. As you see, if we just click on maintenance team code, then we'll go into maintenance department and work type. We can add a cleaning or mechanical, and you can just add your maintenance team just like that, and you can store however many maintenance teams that you may need to work on your singular asset. You also have the ability to add any legitimate proceedings. These include any insurance information that you may need on your vehicles, bulldozers, and trucks, as well as any other documentations that you need for safety purposes. You can also add any documentations to look back at information, as well as any pictures of your assets in case you do have a lot of assets, especially as a mining company. There could be several assets, so you can add as many pictures as you may need to correctly identify your assets. BEAM has over 10,000 already made reports, and you can access your reports by going to the reports section in BEAM, and you can filter your reports. At the bottom left, if you click prepare, we'll be looking at an asset status report. So here you have the ability to quickly view the status of your asset, and it'll just take all your information and make a neat diagram and table for you to see. As well as we have our timer feature, which automatically gives you email updates depending on how you configure it. So if you go into general information and timer, you have the ability to decide how often you do want to receive these reports on your assets and from different reports, so you can automatically receive them without having to go back and filtering out and creating a report within the BEAM application and software itself. Next, we'll be looking at the maintenance module. So if we go back into the main menu and we exit out of the asset report, here you have the ability to make work orders in case something does go wrong and something needs to get fixed. At the top of the screen, you see failure/work orders. Here you have the ability to select the production status, whether the production continues, production stopped, or you personally stop the production. You also have the ability to select its priority, so how important the issue may be. This can be extremely important in case you need the work order to go through and urgently fix. You also have a ability to put an explanation. For example, if there's a flat tire, you can just type that in, and at the top hand of the screen you have the ability to save it. Now we'll be going into work orders. Here you have the ability to assign the work order to a responsible personnel and person on the team. You can also schedule a planned start date and end date and include any other extra information such as maintenance failure codes, work statements, failure causes, job responsibilities, and document times. As well as you have the ability to include any used materials you may need for this work order, what warehouse they come from, quantity, units, unit price, document all that. As well as you can attach any documents that you may need. In case something specific breaks, you can include documentation, as well as include documentation to keep an update on the report and what is being fixed in terms of the asset. And we also have the ability to view our services, so what services are being applied, whether that is painting job, cleaning job, maintenance fix, and so on. You can also, of course, keep count of your costs, so labor costs, material costs, service costs, and Beam automatically crunches the numbers for you, so you can see your total cost, and you have the ability to put in whatever exchange currency that you may be using. Now you will see that the new work order that you save and put into production will then appear on the calendar. So if you scroll back a little bit and look at previous work orders, you can simply just hover over them and see a quick detailed information about the work order. Also within Beam, you have the ability to schedule periodic maintenance plans. Here, and when we go into add at the top left of the screen, here you can set periodic maintenance so that you don't have to worry about any issues occurring. You have the ability here to include any follow-up dates, so you have the ability to create your maintenance plans off of time, day, week, or month, but you can also make your maintenance plans off of counters. So if you have a truck, for example, and you want to do maintenance by mileage, or if you have drills and you want to do maintenance by the amount it's being used, you can set a counter and set a tolerance as well, so you stay within the number. You also have the ability to start a work order in case something does go wrong, and you can view your material codes as well. Next, we'll be going into materials. Here, you can define all your materials. This includes any subgroups, barcode numbers, branding, any codes, expense centers, and so on. You also have the ability to add any attached documentation that you may need, pictures as well, such as if you have gears and so on, and warehouse parameters, so you can add your minimum stock amount, your max stock amount, as well as a safe stock amount, so your ideal number of whatever material you may want to store. Here, you also have the ability to manage the transaction of your materials. So for example, if more materials are incoming and you want to add them, you can go up here into incoming materials and add them to keep track of the amount of materials you do have. Lastly, we'll be going into our personnel, so our resources and our mechanical and equipment team. As you can see here, you can put basic information as well as any personal information, the training they have to make sure your personnel has the right training depending on what they're working on, as well as any documentation they may use when working on assets. Lastly, we'll be going to the calendar feature, which allows you to see their availability. You can sort it by workday, week, and month, as well as their schedule times. Any days they're not available, you can store in here so you know what team you can bring in case something does go wrong with one of your assets, and you can do a side-by-side comparison within your occupational calendar. Here are some of our references that are currently using Beam within the mining industry. For more information, feel free to visit our website or contact us with the email and phone number listed above. Feel free to reach out and ask for a demonstration or set up a meeting anytime. Thank you.